Yo, welcome to No Picks with Chedda Chaz, but there's no handhold. We do it fast on emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. YouTube isn't really good with sending out notifications, so it's very important that you hit the bell notification so you can know when we go live, when we upload new videos, shorts, etc. So today, I want to talk about Cam Thomas, but it's not really about Cam Thomas. It's about the Pelicans as a whole and the fan and organizational outlook on the team. Now, as you know, Cam Thomas is a restricted free agent. And if you follow the Nets, you also know that Cam Thomas, don't look like he getting no money this offseason. Same thing with Kuminga, same thing with Josh Giddey, same thing with Quentin Grimes. The salary cap landscape has changed. CBA is different now. And for that archetype of player, like, elite role player, fringe, all-star, you're just not seeing those guys getting those big contracts anymore like they did in the past. So Cam Thomas, he like, I ain't trying to hear all that. I need my bread. You know what I'm saying? Think I didn't? You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that. I need mine. Jalen Green got his. Brandon Ingram got a contract extension. Emmanuel Quickly got a contract extension. I need mine. I ain't taking no shorts. That's like Cam Thomas, carrying it. And I respect his mind. Like Cam Thomas say, I don't smile a lot because ain't shit funny. So Cam Thomas, he's coming off a cool season, average 24, 3-3. The dude a walking bucket. The dude is a walking bucket. Dude cold. The one thing he does well is score.
Schroeder hands to Thomas. Fernandez trying to call a timeout. Thomas fires. Nylon! Cam Thomas trades it.
He wasn't very available this year. Played, 25 games. That's also because the Nets were tanking, of course. Last year, he played 66 games, averaged 22, 2-3. So when he gets the opportunity to put up shots, the efficiency is, kind of there. Year before last, he shot 36% from beyond the arc on 6 attempts. Last year, he shot 34% on 7 attempts, close to 8 attempts, so 7.8. This archetype of player just isn't getting paid anymore in this new CBA. Shout out to Jordan Poole, new Pelican, who I'm really excited about. But he's another guy that, people, when he first got his extension, people said, oh, that's going to be a bad contract if you're just going to view him as a super six man. Like quote unquote fringe starter, super six man. Like he can start, but he's probably better off the bench, a la a Ben Gordon or someone like that, right? Jamal Crawford in his later years, Lou Williamson, etc. Now, Cam Thomas don't see himself like that. Cam Thomas sees himself as a legitimate contributor on a winning team. He can put up buckets. He thinks the organization has been holding him back because the organization has been out there just trying to be bad. Even when they had Mikal Bridges, after a while, they kind of pulled the plug on that experiment. They're like, look, we're just trying to be bad. It is what it is. And they're the Nets, so the Nets don't want to tie up too much of their cap space because they always looking for a guy like Giannis to become available. They're looking for, anybody to become available. If Luka didn't sign his extension, they'd be looking for him to become available. So they always try to free up cap space. And even now with new CBA rules and things like that, they can just absorb contracts into that cap space. And they could probably take on more picks. You see, this past year, they had, 4 or 5 fucking draft picks in the first round? Ridiculous. I'm surprised they made all those picks. It was crazy. So, how it relates to the Pelicans, again, I'm a fan of Cam Thomas. I like Cam Thomas's game. I don't see a fit for Cam Thomas with the Pelicans unless you were looking to just give him a ton of opportunity with the second unit and then flip him for more assets later. Like maybe you give him a cool, $15-20 million contract or something like that with a team option in the third year, and you just view him as an expiring contract you're trying to sell, or early expiring contract you're trying to sell off at the deadline. Look what he can do. See, he's worth this money. He's only making $25 million. Come get him. Something like that. But the thing I keep coming back to with the Pelicans, as we go through these trade scenarios, as we go through these free agent scenarios, a lot of us just don't believe in this roster. I think that's what it sincerely is. I think that's the root issue here. We talk about, the Pelicans need this. The Pelicans need a starting center. The Pelicans need more shooting. The Pelicans need a point guard. The Pelicans need this. The Pelicans need that. It's like, at the end of the day, you paying, let me see, DeJounte hurt, so I'm not really going to count him, but you got DeJounte, Zion, Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. You paying these dudes a lot of fucking money here. So let's see, like DeJounte, 30 million. Zion, another 30. Well, that's a say 40. So 70 million. Trey Murphy, 25. That's 95. Herb Jones, his contract is it hasn't really kicked in yet, but let's say 15, right? Let's say 15 right there. No, that's over $100 million you paying these dudes, and you still saying you need more? You either believe in this organization or you don't. Even if you take, well, not the organization, you either believe in the players that you're paying or you don't. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you bring on to the team. It doesn't matter who you bring onto the roster. If Zion isn't who you think Zion is supposed to be, if he isn't available, then none of this matters. If Trey Murphy doesn't continue to make strides, if he isn't available this year, none of it matters. If Herb Jones can't take another step, then none of it matters. That's really what it boils down to. Because once you pay a person, now the responsibility is on them. Once you agree to extend Zion, it don't really matter what Willie Green does anymore. Once you agree to keep Zion and not trade him this offseason or waive him, what Willie Green does is inconsequential in my eyes. Because now it's about this guy. It's about this guy. You have the talent to neutralize Willie Green's shortcomings. So it's up to you to do that. It's up to you to make yourself available to do that. Trey Murphy. Once you extended Trey Murphy, you didn't, trade him for these 3 or 4 picks that may have been available. Now it's up to Trey to stay on the court. He's a person who his talent has neutralized Willie Green as well. He's done well in spite of Willie Green's attempts to, kind of hold him back to a degree. So he's showing his capability to do that. Now it's up to him to stay on the court and make that contract even more attractive. Herb Jones was highly sought after. Once you decided you wasn't going to trade Herb Jones, you extended him to a questionable contract. Now it's up to Herb Jones to expand his game offensively and to give you a little bit more on the offensive end, or to take even another step defensively as it pertains to rebounding and things of that nature. Jordan Poole. You traded for Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole has another year on his contract. Jordan Poole is coming off of, he got that contract because he was a champion, right? He got that contract because he helped win the title. So now it's up to him to, I guess, show what he's worth, like to prove everyone right, because a lot of people believe in Jordan Poole and his talent. Now it's up to him to get back to that era of Jordan Poole. You saw him make strides last year with Washington. Now he's on a team that's looking to win. So let's see if he'll have the same efficiency and the same attitude and the same aggressiveness this season. He's putting in a lot of work in the offseason, so it seems like there'll be some carryover. But now it's up to these dudes. Like, what I'm saying? It's up to these dudes to show you who they are, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, I like Cam Thomas, but out of all the candidates that I've brought up as possible acquisitions for the Pelicans, to me, Josh Giddey makes the most sense because he isn't a high usage player necessarily. Like, you're not looking for Josh Giddey to take 20 shots a game. The best version of Cam Thomas is taking 15, 16, 17 shots a game. And that's just like, you don't really need that for the Pelicans right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you could predict injuries and you could predict that the injury luck for the Pelicans will be like it's always been, then that's one thing, right? But I don't think you necessarily need that right now. I think if you're saying you need to add Cam Thomas to this organization, and I'll take him, don't get it fucked up. I'll take him on the team. But if you're saying you need to go out there and get him, then you're saying you don't believe in this current roster and you don't believe in this team's upside. And if you don't believe in this team's upside, then we got bigger problems than just Willie Green. We got roster problems. And by roster problems, I mean we got the main people on the roster problem. We got big name player problems, big money making player problems. And that's something that the team might need to address sooner than later if this season doesn't go as planned. Now, let me see, we're about what, 2.5 months out from things really getting going with the season for us preseason training camp, etc. So we're gonna see what these dudes are made of sooner than later, because they need to start fast. Make no mistake about it. But again, I think adding someone like Cam Thomas or any other high usage guy and just dropping them into the roster, I think it's gonna kind of disrupt some things. These guys already need to kind of learn how to play together right now. And I just don't think adding another high usage player into an already on ball dominant team would be the best recipe. And again, I'm a fan of Cam Thomas, but leave me your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think adding a Cam Thomas would be too much? Are you a fan of Cam Thomas? And most importantly, do you believe in this roster as currently constructed? Because that's the real question. Because if you don't believe in this roster as currently constructed, then it really don't matter who you add. That's just my opinion. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out, y'all. Peace.